Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and it is time to start talking about how I would rank the Final Fantasies, because, well, this area is going to have a lot of enemies or types of enemies that we've seen before, so I should, in theory, have time to at least start this discussion. Now, a little prelude to the discussion. Of course, it's going to be my opinion, but you're going to see a trend through this thing. One thing you'll notice is that I really like job class systems, and almost all of my favorite Final Fantasies have one of those. Or at least all of the Final Fantasies that have a job system ended up in the top. Second, I'm going to kind of break this down between three different tiers. So it's not necessarily that this Final Fantasy list is in an exact order or an unchangeable order, but it kind of is, but it also depends on the day of the week, especially for my good and favorite tier list. Oh, look, guys that are not going to be hurt by fire. Lovely. So at the top of the list is... Ooh, I have Blizzara. Let's show that off. At the top of the list is obviously this game, Final Fantasy IV. And I've kind of mentioned, I like how the party changes a lot. I like how everyone has a set sort of job class. You can't really change classes, but everyone has their set roles, and they all act differently enough. Yeah, we're already learning Fyra. That's unusual. Yeah, I think the rate you learn spells in this game is a lot quicker than the Super NES version. And so next up on my list would then be Final Fantasy V. And, well, Tella's coming to interject plot into... Stop interrupting my favorite Final Fantasy list with your plot. Cecil! What brings you here? Wait, you seek Meteor as well? Meteor? You know about Meteor? That means you're Tella. Hey, old man, am I right? Don't be rude. You stand before the great sage himself. It is an honor to meet you. We came here from Mysidia under the orders of our elder. Yeah, we're spying on... Whack. Way to give things away, Palom. Excuse me. As I was saying, we're just serving as guides for Sir Cecil. My name is Porum, and I'm Palom, Mysidia's most exalted mage. I've heard a lot about you. Kids from Mysidia, eh? Cecil, where are Rydia and Edward? We were attacked by Leviathan on our way to Baron, and... What? They aren't dead, are they? I'm afraid so. On top of that, Golbez has captured Rosa. I'll bet you that's his girlfriend. Hush! I thought you'd headed straight to Baron to confront Golbez. Against the likes of Golbez, my spells still lack power. I've come here to seek the legendary spell Meteor. I sense a strong aura on this mountain. I believe it holds what I'm looking for. But that spell is much too dangerous. It requires tremendous vitality. For a man your age, I admit that I am old, but I will make Golbez pay, even if it costs me my life. Geez, why are adults so pig-headed? You don't understand because you're still a kid. Now hush. Cecil, you have yet to answer my question. Why did you come here? I came here in hopes of becoming a paladin. I cannot defeat Golbez with the dark sword, and I have longed to renounce this hateful thing. Who's Golbez? Don't you know anything? He's the one controlling Baron. Not just an ordinary man, but a powerful sorcerer brimming with evil. So, you've come here to become a paladin? Then this mountain must hold some secret, just as I suspected. I shall accompany you. Alright, Tella has joined us. Now we're kind of at a weird state where we have 3 mages and 1 physical class. So what we're going to do, we're going to swap rows here, because we're going to put all of our mages in the back. But we're going to keep the twins on separate ends, just to keep things, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, it starts with an S. You guys know what I mean. Oh, hi. We don't want to walk around as Tella, we want to walk around as Cecil. You can press L and R to switch who you're walking around as. Alright, so, second favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy V. Depending on the day, it could also be Final Fantasy VI, which is third on the list. Now, one thing I really liked about 5... Yeah, I gotta give you stuff. I give you the... Oh, we can also equip from our menu, like so. There we go. And we have ghouls, which are stronger zombies, but nobody cares. Well, we might care about that. Now let's cry. That'll lower their magic defense, I think. Hopefully. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Wow, that was painful. 45. Let's use the flame on that guy. So yeah, Final Fantasy V, I just love the job class system in it. It has black magic, it has white magic, it has time magic, it has summon magic, it has blue magic, tons of stuff to do. It has spell blades, it has a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of fun. And there's what I call good customization and bad customization. And I think Final Fantasy V has a good form of customization in the sense that not everyone can learn and do everything at the same time, but rather, like, you have one job and then you can take a skill from another job and mix in. Like, you could have a white mage and summoner, or you could have a blue mage and I don't know, Dragoon. You can have the jump ability from Dragoon. And so there's some nice customization. However, in the super late game, the one problem I have with the system is once you master a job, you'll likely get a lot of jobs will give you like a passive buff on when you choose a freelancer or a jobless character. So it kind of encourages you at the end game to have a to be jobless and to just you know, you could still throw whatever magic or whatever other skills you want on your jobless characters, but you don't get to I don't know, I like the way that the characters look in the jobs and how they look differently and have that instead of just being, you know, a freelancer. So I would have liked some more encouragement to not have just a bunch of passive buffs stacking. Like, for instance, if you master the monk job, you'll get a huge boost to your maximum HP, like 200 or not 200, like 20 or 30%. And that boost will carry if you're a freelancer, but not if you go into like another job, like a blue mage or something. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna cry at him. There's really no point to that. I'm using Cecil's Dark because it does hurt, even though it will hurt me a little bit. It does actually hurt the ghouls more than I could otherwise do. And plus we have these double healing staffs going on right now, so yeah, free healing is plentiful at this point in the game. Yeah, that's probably one of my complaints. I like the music. I cannot talk tonight. I like the music in Final Fantasy V as well. I feel that there's a lot more lightheartedness. We're not doing back attacks. Come on now. Well, we might as well do back attacks now. We're here. So what we want to do, we're gonna use the row command to swap rows. So essentially, it puts Cecil in the front row again, where we would want him. These Liliths can be dangerous because they'll use Slap and paralyze our people. That's not nice. I believe these are one of the enemies we can use, we can get the KO from on our Deathbringer. I could be wrong. It also inflicts Curse, as you can see. Curse, I believe that just means you end up taking more damage from physical or magical attacks, one of the two, I don't know. He's also still paralyzed, so that's a thing. I don't think this is a good idea. Oh, actually, that was a wonderful idea. These things are weak to fire too. I always forget what what element Liliths are weak against, and is fire, because yeah, like I said, a lot of things are going to be weak to fire in this area. Look at that experience, 1350, and we have Thundara, and Porum knows Cura, so that's nice too. So Thundara can replace Thunder, and we'll get Cura up here. We'll put it there, I guess. That'll be fine. Speaking of Cure, may want a little bit of healing on Cecil there. Alright, so next up, Final Fantasy VI. The reason 6 is never really my favorite, you have a ton of characters you can play as. Shh! Pelham, stop that. Stop what? Stop interjecting your plot into my list of ranking the Final Fantasy games. That's what you can stop. I really thought we were gonna... Oh boy. We have a lot of fun on this screen. So Final Fantasy VI, one of the things I'd say the thing I dislike about it the most is that it's a game where every character can learn every magic spell. And while not every character is effective at using the magic, I just don't like that from a design point. I mean, I understand its plot significance and why that works the way it does. There's Fyra, by the way. Nice and powerful. We have ghouls, and we also have revenants. Those guys are also fairly strong, too. Please hit people other than Cecil, because he's kind of taking a lot of damage here between using the dark. So that's kind of the thing that ends up holding Final Fantasy IV back, or Final Fantasy VI back for me. But I still enjoy the game overall. The music, pretty good. Story, again, very good. I love the feeling you get within the story, and especially once you get to the halfway point. Love all the characters you can play as. Ooh, critical hit does decent damage. Hooray. Next up on the list, it's not a numbered Final Fantasy. I have 2 entries for the non-numbered games that I want to discuss here. And this is actually a set of 3 games. I'm not going to rank them within each other because I really enjoy them all. And that would be Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Advance, and Tactics Advance A2 that came out on the DS. I love the combat system. I love the... Oh, another critical. I love the job system. I think it really does do the best representation of a job class system with customization. You pick one job, you stick as that job, and you can also add an ability from another job. So you could add, white and black magic together, or assassin abilities and sniper abilities together. And we're going to need to use a tent here. Do I have tents? I have a few tents. Yay! We used a tent for the first time. And there wasn't so much like a freelancer type of job like you had in Final Fantasy V, where you just have kind of like a bland get up on, and so you'll always look as one of the jobs that whatever main job you're portraying, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. Next up on the list is Final Fantasy IX, which is actually quite similar to Final Fantasy IV in a lot of respects. You have characters... Shh! I said stop it. It's not me. And plot is so going to interrupt us again. So I'm just going to wrap up my discussion of Final Fantasy IX here. So, yeah, there's a lot of uniqueness in the characters with their abilities, set abilities again, and a lot of like you don't really get to choose your party until like, I don't know, somewhere around disc 3 out of there's 4 discs that came with the game on the original PlayStation. So yeah, it was quite a big game, but I really enjoyed it because it reminded me a lot of Final Fantasy IV with things like that. Shh. Okay. I sense an evil presence. I will enjoy killing you all. Who's there? Ah, yes, you. Under Master Golbez's orders, I, Scarmiglione of Earth, will deliver you unto the gates of hell. But first, my undead hunger for your flesh. Well, aren't you just creepy? We should do something about this guy. So yes, he brings 4 of his minions, and I played this. Anytime you attack him, he's going to, or damage him, he's going to respond with thunder. I did do this as, actually we're going to bluff. Yeah, we're going to want that. I did play a solo Cecil challenge. I got about halfway. I'll tell you where that challenge ended up dying off for me. But this was one of the challenging battles, trying to do everything just solo Cecil, just because you had all these things. They're going to tear me apart. I should enter some commands. Yeah, they drain. So basically I had to keep using the Dark command until I got rid of all those guys. And then the Skull Nance. And then I started being able to focus on Scarmiglione there. We're going to use a boosted fire. Well, that was nice. And so we'll keep the healing, and the Dark Sword does pretty decent against Scarmiglione himself. He's responding with thunder, and I'm responding with not caring. And, well, he can also use thunder on his own, too. Let's get a fire going. Let's do an actual cure. 858. That is awesome. With a damage output like that, he should be almost gone, I would imagine. Tella, fix it. That was kind of weak. But yeah, the Earth Elemental Lord here is weak to fire. Can you be dead yet? What's happening to me? Yay! Alright, now where was I on this list? The next entry is... Uh-oh. Fools! My true strength lies in death. Join me in hell! And this is the real form of Scarmiglione. Yes, your true form. Yes, you told us to die a bunch of times already. Alright, so we're going to start by swapping the rows here. Get our mages out of the front row and our physical attacker back into the front row. And I also really love this music. Guess what? He's still weak to fire, by the way. Don't really need to do anything major right now. Oh, yes, his normal attacks can also poison us, so every, once in a while we'll take, an extra 10 damage. Poison's not super, damaging in this game. Really love this music, by the way. I know I already said it, but, it just has a feel of epicness, and it is the theme. Wow, that was a ton of damage. Breathe this and walk as the undead. Hit him with a magic attack and he does that. Which can put a curse on everyone. Yeah, well, Cecil's poisoned now too. So we'll use Cura here. I don't think we really need it, but we'll do it anyways. And I don't know how many more fire attacks it's going to survive. Hopefully, not much longer past this one because... Oh, yep, he's dead. Yeah, if you have Fyra, he's very easy to beat. But a lot of times when I came here with, in the Super NES version, Palom did not know Fyra. Or I should say Fire 2 as it's known in that game. And, or Palom, I had to grind a bit to learn Fyra. And so that made the battle kind of drag out a bit longer. Hey, Tella gained a level, and Palom gained a level, and Porom gained a level, and learned Silence. Whew. How could I possibly lose? And he just kind of falls off the mountain. Okay. So our people are hurt. Let's use Asuna, which you can't use on everyone at once, which is kind of annoying because it costs 20 magic just to heal statuses. And Tella, despite gaining a level, only stayed at 90 MP. We're gonna go... I don't want to fight you guys. We're gonna go back here, and we're gonna save. I don't need to use a tent. Because I know this game, I know what's coming up next. In fact, because I know what's coming up next, we're going to unequip everything from Cecil so we can sell it later. Because if you don't do that, well, you just kind of lose all this equipment and it won't matter anyways. Alright, we're gonna do this thing next time.